お二人だって闘病中は。
それは言わないでください。先生には裸より恥ずかしい姿を。
そういえばお父上は回復の様子を記録に残したいとおっしゃっていましたが。
母と私たちがよーく言い含めた結果、父は己の愚行を猛省しまして、先生を講師として受講させたうっかりモリスと一緒に罰を受けました。
Alright, my friends, we are back. 𝐒𝐿𝐼MICHI episode number 8. We're back. Alright, so I gotta admit to you guys, I think I talked to you guys last week, you know, I was really worried about this show. I was under the impression that, like, hey, I know, you know, we know that the studio has a longer, you know, a 2-core season, a longer season. So we know that they're kind of taking their time, they're building up story, they're doing the right things, right? But, you know, we all also have to, you know, realize or be in peace that the first season of 𝐒𝐿𝐼MICHI kind of set the pace, and season 2 did like a swap up or a switch up, and that pace and pacing has changed to a slower thing. So I was, you know, a little worried about the show, and it's been a little boring lately, and it hasn't been really interesting. But I will tell you, you know, not all is doom and gloom. I thoroughly enjoyed episode number 8. I thought it was a good episode. Now, I don't think it was the best thing to write home, but I think introducing the Rembrandt sisters last week, bringing them back in this week, reminding us of who the hell they are. Because I don't know if you're like me, like I watched 𝐒𝐿𝐼MICHI season 1 whenever it came out, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it came out. I mean, it's been a while, right? Like, you know, season after season, you know, the next wave of anime comes out, and like, sure, like you remember stuff, but it's like, you know, I like, okay, Tomoe, Mio, it's like, okay, like, oh, you know, the licked guy, it's like, okay, I'm starting to remember, but then it's like, oh, you know, so I'm glad that they brought it back, and they kind of gave us a glimpse of like, hey, you remember those really ugly cursed sisters and how he established a relationship with the Rembrandt company? Hey, they're back. It's like, oh yeah, shit, like, okay, yeah, it was those were the ones. And it set that, you know, along, so now we know, okay, they're gonna be recurring in the show and stuff, blah blah blah. And it also showed us the demon girl. You know, it also showed us a demon girl, and you know, basically she had a pre-existing relationship in the past with the licked guy, and you know, she's like a charmer and stuff, and she's dedicated to the demon lord. So that's all like a really cool thing, really cool storyline. And she's infiltrated the academy. She's pretending to be another student. The student she's pretending to be died. You know, our boy Makoto's like, whatever then, you know, like he's dead. He's like, I just want to know what you about. I don't really care about the other girl, you know, B100. So I was like, okay, I liked it. I was like all about it. I like how they had, you know, dinner, and Makoto kind of said it straight. I like how the licked was like, hey, you don't, she's like, I think we need to get really close. And the licked was like, you don't want to dip in this pool. Like the shark, there's 2 sharks in this pool, and they'll eat the shit out of you. You don't want none of this. So I like that too. I was like, okay, that's really funny. I really enjoyed that as well too. So overall, I think episode 8 was an enjoyable episode. Now, I don't really have much more to say because it's kind of like not a whole lot happens. He had his students. We picked up from last week. He trained his students. We got to see the Rembrandt sisters outside of school. We got to see him noticing and, you know, calling out a demon. We got to learn more about the demons infiltrating the school, more about that. We got to learn about, you know, certain human experiments happening, you know, somewhere in the city. The dude who Tomoe has been training and stuff, you know, is going to report to Makoto. He's like, okay, I need you to go and you know, figure this out and report back to me, kind of thing. Seems like the teacher or one of the teachers is probably the dude leading the experiments. You know, that's pretty standard stuff. Nothing out of ordinary there, and something that's like, okay, that's within expectations. Yeah, it's pretty predictable, but hey, I'm good with it, kind of thing. And then it went to you know, the end of the episode with the Rembrandt sisters. But you know, no Tomoe, no Mio this episode, but I was entertained. I was following along, and I was like, it's setting up enough this episode to make me interested for, you know, what is going to end up coming next. So overall, good episode. I would say 7 out of 10 episode. Not exactly like, winning awards, not exactly like, a home run, but a good, watchable, enjoyable episode. I think that's all we wanted. So, TSUKIMICHI episode 8, pretty good. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you skew towards, hey, I was bored, whatever, I get it. And if you skew towards like, hey, I like what they were doing here, I get it. If you fall somewhere in between of just like, I'll watch, I get that too. So I can understand all facets of it. I can only say, hey, this week, I was more about it and I liked it. So let's see what next week is. Hopefully for me, at least personally, they keep this trend. Hopefully for you, if you're on this side, hopefully they bring it back. If you're on this side, hopefully they continue. If you're somewhere in the middle, hopefully you skew more this way too. All right. I'll see you guys next week for TSUKIMICHI episode number 9. Peace out.